So in this video, I want to talk about eBay and how do I say this? I got scammed. There, I said it. I got scammed. As someone who spends a lot of time looking into scams and making YouTube videos about scams, I'm quite embarrassed to say it, but I got scammed. Now let me be clear. I was only scammed out of $90, and I do have a recourse of action to follow to get my money back. But it still doesn't alleviate that feeling of, I should have known better. And like I said, I'm embarrassed. I'm also angry. Not just at the scammers, but I'm also angry at myself for falling for this. So first, let me show you this scam. And using the power of hindsight, I'll show you the red flags. So this is a listing on eBay. 1TB WD Blue SA500 NAS SSD 2.5-inch SATA 3 solid state drive for laptop PC. $89.99. $90. Not a bad price. Now, I've purchased Feng Shui drives in the past for around this price. So $89.99 didn't seem like a price that was too good to be true at first glance. So I added one to my cart and completed the checkout process. And just over a week later, the drive arrived. Now, if I do a search for 1TB Western Digital Blue SATA SSD, we can see that they all seem to be priced around the $150 mark. And after seeing this, $90 seems almost too good to be true. Now, if I did this search prior to placing my order, I would have picked up on the red flags, but I didn't. Now, when the order arrived, I was happy because I was planning on using this drive to run the latest Fedora 40 operating system. And to me, the drive still looked like a legitimate drive. And I'll show you here a side-by-side picture of the advertised product and the box they sent. And when I see them side by side, I can see that this does not look like the advertised product. It's close, and without the side-by-side comparison, I still didn't notice anything suspicious at this time. So I opened it up, still looks like a legitimate drive, turned off my computer, plugged it in, then I jumped into the BIOS to make sure it was detected, and here was my first clue. This is a Gigabyte motherboard, and it detected this device as SSD 1TB. Now, you can see down the list, I have two M.2 drives. They are both crucial drives, and my motherboard reports the full part number of these drives. I can also show you another computer where I've been trying out these cheaper Feng Shui drives. This is an Asus motherboard, and it even reports the Feng Shui brand, as well as the part numbers on both the M.2 and the SATA devices. Now, a couple of months ago, I made a video about another scam drive from eBay. And that drive was also reported with a generic identifier. I'll leave a link to that video down below if you want to go see that. But when I saw this, alarm bells started to ring. As Western Digital is a prominent brand, I expected to see at the very least Western Digital or the device part number in my BIOS. So I proceeded to install Fedora 40 onto this new device, and everything was working fine. The response time was good. It's showing no signs of being fake. And if you watch that previous video I made, these scam drives seem to work fine until you reach its actual capacity. So I installed Steam and started downloading some games, and before long I noticed that my Steam downloads were stalling, and the graph looked something like this. So I restarted the computer and my new Fedora 40 installation would no longer boot. The reason for this is because my Steam downloads had filled the capacity of the drive and began overwriting the existing data. So I booted off one of my M.2 crucial drives back into the Fedora 38 build. I know, it's 2 versions old, and I'm disappointed. I wanted to be running Fedora 40. But when I tried to mount this Western Digital device, I get this error. An error occurred while accessing folder Fedora. The system responded, the requested operation has failed. Error mounting dev SDA3 at run media spooky Fedora. Can't read superblock on dev SDA3. So it appears that the downloading of games from Steam, this device not only started overwriting files, but it also destroyed the partition table on the drive. So at this point, I know this device is counterfeit. I've experienced this in the past. The only difference was last time I purchased a counterfeit device, I knew what I was buying, and I was interested in investigating the scam. This time I was caught completely unaware. So I had a search online and I came across this video from 2 years ago by Mocha Frappe, titled Review, Fake Western Digital WD Blue SSD Brought from Shopee. Now, I'll leave a link to this video down below if you want to go check it out. But 1 minute in, and I noticed that the serial number of the drive in this video and my drive are the same. And just to be clear for anyone who is unaware, serial numbers are supposed to be unique identifiers. The serial number here, 204211A01C07. Now, Western Digital has a section on their website where you can search for a serial number and check the warranty status of a device. So when I search for the serial number of this device, Western Digital says the warranty for this drive expired in May 2022. So it appears to be a legitimate serial number. It just belongs to a device that was purchased years ago. Now, I don't know if all of these devices are using the same serial number, but this is certainly worth noting that at least 2 of these scam devices are using this serial number, and there may be more. So now I'm going to jump on eBay and submit my complaint, and I'll bring you along for the ride. Alright, so here we are on the order page on eBay. This is the Western Digital fake drive that I ordered. It arrived yesterday. So eBay says for any disputes, step 1 is to contact the seller. So let's go contact seller. People often ask about cancelling order. Still have questions down the bottom here, contact seller. And so this is what I'm going to send them. Alright, so basically I'm going to be short and sweet and to the point. I'm not going to be rude about this because I don't know necessarily that this vendor knows they're selling scam products. Chances are they're just an agent for a Chinese distributor and they probably don't know, but who knows? We'll see how they respond. So I've said, hi, I would like my money back. This device is fake. The device started to fail after copying around 90 gig of data onto it. I can show the serial number is also for a device that was sold 2 years ago and is no longer sold years ago, and is no longer under warranty. I can also show this serial number appears on a drive on a YouTube video from 2 years ago. This device is a total scam and you should stop selling these immediately and refund everyone who purchased one of these from you. Thanks. Alright, so I'm going to add 3 photos. So the first one is a photo of the drive itself that I took. Second one, the screenshot from the video that I showed earlier. And the third one, the screenshot from the Western Digital site of that serial number that I also showed earlier. So now, depending on what response happens, I can ask eBay to step in if they don't give me my money back. If they try and make things difficult, like request me to send this back, I'm not going to send it back. If this was a product that worked for 6 months and then broke and so I was returning it under warranty for either a repair or replacement, for sure I'd pay for some postage. But this is a scam. This is not, oh, they sent the wrong product or anything like that. This is a scam. This is illegal. This is totally fake. So I don't want to be out of pocket even $10 to send this back. So if they try to force me to send it back, I'll tell them to go screw themselves and I'll get eBay involved. But I suspect, because these companies don't like having their name dragged through the mud, I suspect they'll just send me a refund. So here, as you can see, there is a Western Digital red drive that's also for sale for $89.99. So as you can see, this is a seller I bought from, and they're selling blue as well as red drives, and I haven't seen any listing for green drives. But for each of these, I'm going to go report this item. Let's go prohibited and restricted items. I'm not quite sure how to do this. Actually, copyright and trademark. And under their reason for report, we got counterfeit item, fake, counterfeit or replica items. So just straight to the point, these drives are fake. I have already submitted a refund request for my order. So eBay should obviously see, because I'm doing this under my account, this report as well as my refund request. So, and I've also noticed another vendor, Colorful Stars, are also selling what appears to be the same drive for $89.99. This one's trending, 21 have already sold. So I'm going to go through and report all of these, but eBay, you need to do something about this. These Western Digital drives that are being advertised right now for $89.99 are all fake. As I showed earlier, a legitimate Western Digital drive, 1 terabyte, is around about $140 to $150. Now, eBay does have pretty good return policy, provided you're within the return window, and that's around about 30 days from when you buy your product. Now, if I didn't know about these scams and I didn't check the serial number of my device, I may have thought, oh, this was just faulty. And we could have had a back and forth with this vendor to try and rectify the problem and ended up outside of the return window by that stage. And at that point, eBay pretty much says you're on your own. So make sure if you buy hardware like this off eBay, when you get it, test it. Test it good. If you buy a drive like this, plug it into your computer and try to fill it up. Fill it up with garbage before you actually use it. Make sure it's a legitimate device, because there's more and more of these popping up every time I look on eBay. And I get that for eBay it's hard to catch them. So make sure you look after yourself and figure out if you've been scammed within the 30-day return. Alright, so it's the next day, and eBay rejected my report on these listings. The vendor also asked me to submit photos and videos supporting my claim, even though I already included photos and videos that supported my claim. So I've sent them again. But what I'm going to do is, in my purchase list, I'm going to go more actions, help and report. Report content, product or listing, intellectual property infringement, and counterfeit item. Okay, and so I've provided additional details. These devices are fake. You can see the same device here on a YouTube video from 2 years ago. The item I was sent has the exact same serial number. You can check on Western Digital support. The warranty for this serial number expired 2 years ago. Serial number 204211 Alpha 01 Charlie 07. I have already submitted a report on the listed item. See, the attached photo is the item I was sent, as well as screenshots from YouTube and Western Digital. Selling of these items needs to be halted immediately and investigated. They are Western Digital drives being sold for $89.99, while genuine drives are being sold around $140 to $150. So far, I can see 89 of these scam drives have been sold. Please stop this scam ASAP. So the vendor ended up responding, "Dear buyer, so sorry for the trouble. Would you mind we resend a new one for you? Looking forward to your early reply. Best wishes." So I told them, sure, send me another one. But this is a typical tactic for stalling time. This is what they do to try and eat up that return window. And the idea is that hopefully by the time they've sent another one, you're outside of the return window so they can't give you money back. And sending out another drive like this, to me, this is big indication that these drives are worth nothing. They're just willing to send another one. They don't want the old one back? We'll just send you another one. So if you want to see the outcome of this situation, you'll have to subscribe, shameless plug, and see what happens. But I wanted to get this information out to let people know that these drives are being sold. And this whole situation has kind of got me thinking of an idea for a new video. And for those of you that know how I feel about Scam Advisor, I hope you enjoy this little, I was going to call it a collaboration, but it's not really a collaboration. Let's call it an ad for the Spooky Chicken YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy.